What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be reviewing The Real Housewives of New York City, season 13, episode 7. It's called Electile, Dysfunction. Stay tuned to the other side and I'll tell you what I think.
Give me the music. Give me the music.
And you know what? That was just the beginning.
So the episode starts off with Leah arguing, because Heather really was totally not engaged with the situation, but Leah arguing with Heather about their disagreements on voting. And I feel like this was a fight that was started by Ebony. Ebony kind of misworded the argument and it triggered Leah, and Leah just went after Heather with a vengeance. And I think it's kind of a stupid fight. It's definitely a stupid fight. Leah decides to get off the bus. She gets back on. They head to the beauty pageant, and we'll pick it up from there. Girls make it to LuAnns Halloween beauty pageant situation or whatever. And they look really good, actually. I really love LuAnns' jumpsuit, and I really enjoy Sonya's outfit that she had on when she arrived, the white with all the blue and all that stuff. It kind of reminds me of like a Versace pattern or whatever. And then she also changed into her mime outfit, which was really cute to me also. Shout out to Ramona for looking damn good also. Like, Ramona looks good as hell. And I think she's in her 60s or something like that. That body is everything. Her face looks good. Hair just tossed to the side. Like, Ramona is really serving, like, she's really serving her age. And I enjoy looking at Ramona. Sometimes I feel like she looks a little aged with some of the things that she wears. But this one's a good look. Too bad she has to be at a Halloween party to give me what I want. So LuAnn decides to step in and automatically make Leah the winner of Miss 1973 pageant. And I guess it's because of the issues that she's having right now, especially with her grandmother passing away and all that good stuff, and the fact that she's had like a few difficult days while they've been at Ramona's house. So she decided to elect Leah to be the winner of this pageant, and she gives like a speech or whatever. It's the next day and the girls are packing their things. Leah has already left, and she sends Ramona and a few of the girls a text message letting them know that her grandmother actually passed away earlier that morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Really sad to see. But it was really nice seeing Ramona try to respond with a sympathizing text message, but she wasn't able to do that. LuAnn actually had to help her with that. And then we move into another scene where the girls are all sitting down, and Ebony is unraveling more and explaining her situation with her grandmother, who is also dying at the moment, and how she doesn't really want to see her in that state, and she doesn't really want to be around her. I don't know, I guess to each his own, because I would definitely want to be with my grandmother at every step of the way, because I know she would do the same thing for me, and it wouldn't change my my perception and view of who this incredible woman who my grandmother raised me. So it wouldn't change my view of her. It would actually show me a more a caring side and a more compassionate side on her behalf. And then we move on to Ebony talking about how she is, her mother is her only blood relative living. And she talks about how someone on Instagram actually reached out to her to say, hey, I'm your long lost sister. And she goes into detail about, you know, how she wants to, you know, figure things out, see if this is her sister. Because I have, I'm the oldest of 8. So I have like siblings under me, and we always communicate. We always talk either through text or, you know, FaceTime and, you know, calling and stuff like that. But I can only imagine what it would be like to not have anybody. Like, I grew up with my siblings in the house, like noisy as hell. So, and I only know what it's like to be in a large family. So outside of my brothers and sisters, I have a huge family of cousins. Like, I couldn't even account the amount of cousins. First generation, second, third, and fourth. Like, we have so many cousins, and everybody has at least 3+ kids. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird, and it's interesting to see or to hear a different perspective from someone who doesn't have a large family. So Heather stops the moment with Ebony to apologize for telling her that she spoke well or she was articulate, and Ebony kind of explained the subtext behind telling Black people that we speak well. And I can tell you for a fact, I had a speech impediment. I was in speech. I had a stutter. I couldn't pronounce words correctly. I was just all over the place when it came to English and language. I don't understand why. And I think for a long time when I was a child, I was actually shy, and I was so shy that sometimes I would stutter when I would try to speak an entire sentence. I remember times when I would cry because I couldn't say the word. I just couldn't. It would not come out because I stuttered so bad. And as I've gotten older, it has improved so much. And so I'm grateful that I was able to understand. And, sometimes I still stumble over my words. A lot of times my grammar is a little messed up and I say stuff like incorrectly. But the fact that I can speak to where people who don't even speak the English language can understand me clearly, I don't take offense to every time they say that to me, because I'm proud of myself that I can speak. And it has nothing to do with other Black people. It has everything to do with me. But there's a connotation that Black people cannot speak the English language. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. And it's also kind of one of those things where you're either brought up in a situation where people don't speak well and, just all over the place with their jargon, or you're in a place where you just don't speak well. And that's where I was. I grew up in a safe, nice educational environment, but I just did not have the skills to speak. And so that's why I don't always take offense to when people say, oh my God, for a Black guy, you speak really, really well. But after hearing it so many times, and it may come from a good place, but it also comes from a very ignorant place. And for the people who tell me this, their age bracket, it annoys me. We should be past that. We should, especially when you don't know a person and you say remarks like that. If you don't know me, you shouldn't talk to me like that. That's all. So I skipped like 2 scenes, like LuAnn with her assistant and then Leah with her sister. They're discussing her grandmother's death and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of Leah and her sister. I don't know if it's her bangs or I don't know. It's just something I don't know. But anyways, we go into the scene where Ramona is sitting down with one of Sonya's friends, and this is what I think I spoke on this last week as well. LuAnn and Ramona disrespects Sonya so much. They always are always going behind her back, with the connections that Sonya knows or with the men that she sleeps with. And they're just, I don't know, if I introduce you to somebody and you're my friend and that person is my friend or that person knows me, unless you guys are exchanging numbers, and even if you do exchange numbers, if you guys are going into business with each other, doing stuff, I expect you to tell me. I don't know, I feel like as a friend, we should have that open policy. We should have that open line of communication anyway. So for me to know that you haven't told me stuff, it's just what's the big deal of holding it back? I don't know. So it's kind of malicious and backstabberish in a way. But on the flip side of all of it, I also want to talk about how I love Ramona's work ethic and her drive. And, since the beginning of the show, she's always had something to do as far as work is concerned, be it with her husband, with the jewelry line, be it with the Pinot Grigio. I believe she did something else with, some bars and all that stuff in New York. But now she's venturing off into getting her real estate license. And I love the fact that she's always and forever, every season, she's doing something and she's finding something to keep herself busy. And, it's to be commended. I also think that she's a lot calmer this season as well. Ramona is usually spastic as fuck, and she's all over the place usually, and her hair's flopping around, and we're doing turtle time, and she's always usually over the place, and then she's always used to have a wine glass in her hand. So it's good to see her in a calmer space, but in a good space as well. But she's still shady. I don't give a damn She's shady as hell. This was probably my favorite scene of the whole episode. Is when Sonya, Leah, and Ebony, they go out to see Leah's boxing coach, and Sonya has the gloves on and she's in the ring and she's hitting him with the boxing gloves, and she's, you know, getting her frustration and her stress and her anger out regarding the way the girls have treated her for the last years, how people just like walk right over her and just regard her emotions. And, you know, it's good to see other women uplift her, you know. Sonya's not perfect, and when she drinks, she's a monster, actually. I don't think she's that bad, but I think she can be a little bit uncontrollable and a little oblivious to like everything that she's doing. But I think that as a sober person, Sonya is a very lovable, compassionate person, and, you know, I feel like she just needs like that safety net, because I feel like she's one of those women that hang out with men a lot, because men accept her so easily because she's so open and approachable and warm in many ways. So I don't think she's like one of those girls that would, I don't think other girls would want to hang out with her, because she would probably get all the men's attention. I just truly do. I think she's that gorgeous, and I think she just has that flair and that swag that a lot of the other, well, none of the girls on the show has the swag that Sonya has. Let's just make that clear. It's Election Day 2020, and all the girls apparently look to be in a line, but LuAnn, who is on the Upper East Side, as well as Ramona, we didn't actually see her or Sonya vote, but definitely Leah, as well as Ebony, had like long lines, and that just shows you like the inequity in this country when it comes to voting. Like, a certain class of people have easy access to voting, and then other people have to stand in long lines, have to wait for a long time, have to deal with the inadequacies of our voting system, and that's really, really sad. So the girls retired to Ebony's for a presidential party. A lot of people had that for the election, and Leah arrives with her unruly dog, and LuAnn shows up as John F. Kennedy in a mask, and I think all the girls were in attendance but Ramona. Ramona decided to have a party with other people. And what we see in this scene is Sonya unraveling when she is under the influence, and she walks in looking absolutely stunning. She's the only one dressed up with heels and makeup and a tiara, which I absolutely love. But she also goes on her rant. You know, when she gets drunk, you get her started on a topic regarding Ramona or LuAnn, and she's out the door. And so the girls discuss Ramona apparently taking pictures of all of her female black friends, and Leah is saying she's never been on her Instagram ever, but all of a sudden, since she wants to be woke, she's taking pictures of all, and I don't know. And Ebony's like saying like to prove that it's not racist, and I'm just like, why did you even have to say that? You could have just said that she has black friends. Like, I don't know. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of racism and who's a racist and who's not. I don't think any of these women are racist. I just don't. I think they have different experiences, and we see them act those experiences out on the shows in their behavior and in their conversation. All right, guys, so we end with Ebony inviting all the guests, as well as Ramona, to her party in Harlem. It's going to be Harlem Nights. Black people love that movie, Harlem Nights. It's funny as hell, and it's also a moment in time. It just is. It's a moment that we could never get back. The glamour, the everything, the ambiance of New York at that time. It was a really good time in history. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment if you have any comments or suggestions about what I had to say today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Just give me the music.